I really is anybody here yet? So how did you get in and everybody else didn't get in? Well, I'm going to start anyway. How it normally works is a whole bunch of people going to come in about the next 15 to 20 minutes or so, or if you're watching this video when it's not live, about 15 to 20 minutes after this. Then it's going to get a little loud and out of control. I'm going to try to control it. But we're going to be talking about boxing, factual boxing. So you can't come on here, you know, on my live streaming videos and you don't know what you're talking about. You're going to get slaughtered. You can't come on here talking about, you know, like Flomos and Pactards and all that. No, we want to maintain some type of dignity here. You can't come on here, you know, definitely talking some shit to me because I'm going to slaughter you, then I'm going to boot your fucking ass. So, long story short, on T Street Controversy, this is T Street Controversy Live, and this is like a beta type thing going on. This is the time slot that I might be using moving forward, you know, Monday nights, because, you know, you got the fights on Fridays or Sundays, wherever you're at, and then, you know, Monday or Tuesday, what basically, you know, it's a good time. So, long story short, it's Manny Pacquiao versus Chris Algieri fight week, and I gotta be honest with you, I am a little concerned, just a little concerned, and the reason why I'm concerned is that, well, after watching, you know, like a Chris Algieri binge, I noticed that he's got some good mechanics. And if Manny Pacquiao doesn't go out there and slaughter him, then, you know, I can't, you know, if people at this point in time, hang in there, let me get my phone. All right. So, I'm going to send the link out for Google Hangout. Let me see how we can do this here.
Yeah, Chris is he's pretty risky, man. I mean, he's big, he's tall, got long reach. Pacquiao's never really fought anybody like that, except for Margarito, but Margarito was slow. And
I like the fact that Chris Algieri is not, like, he's a smart fighter in the fact that he's not going to go out there without a plan. You know, he's not going to go out there and knock Pacquiao out. So therefore, he has some type of plan where, of course, everybody keeps talking about the jab. He's going to try to jab Pacquiao to death. But what I've noticed is that, you know, he was doing that shit and looking beautiful against Ruslan Provodnikov. Ruslan Provodnikov has barely to any defense. You can beat his face up. Look what Mauricio Herrera did to him. So, you know, I don't look at it as being like too much of a risk for Pacquiao, but I think to the point, well, you got this Algieri guy who's basically following a dream. You know, then he's got, you know, Marquez pitch trainers showing up at his camp. You know, so I'm not accusing him of anything in any way, shape, or form, but I'm saying that he's got a certain feel around him that he can win. You know, because if Pacquiao comes out there and, you know, Pacquiao's actually trying to outbox him and Chris Algieri's just really keeping him away with the jab, then he can win. But outside of that, you know, he's going to get his face smashed in. I said he can win. I don't predict him to win in any way, shape, or form. I see him getting his face really smashed in. So what I'm going to do is basically I'm going to pretty much talk about what happened at the Hopkins fight. Since, hold on, I'm a little tired. Since it was a nice event, I'm going to explain something. I'm going to explain exactly what my goal is. I think this is the perfect time to explain exactly what my goal is. Now, what I want is I want the yellow pass. This is the red pass. The yellow pass is ringside press area, press room, post-fight press conference. I have the red pass. The red pass was the auxiliary press section's 300 levels, press room, post-fight press conference. Now, of course, I just couldn't have that. So I worked my way all the way down to the ring floor, to the point where like I froze up a little bit. Like I was like, oh, I could go sit up there if I want to. So I just hung out in the back. That's when I ran into Hank Lundy, and it was just all these different people around. I don't even go into names. The guy from Fox Philly, Mike Jarrett was there. A couple Eagles players. But long story short, I just can't like if the 300 section is the largest is the section way up at the top. How can me, myself, and not to toot my own horn, but realistically, how can I be the #1 guy on YouTube or close to it and you got me sitting way up at the top? My job on YouTube is to promote the fight. My job is to make sure I do something for the sport. So I was getting frustrated, and I know I told this story before. I was getting frustrated when I was just looking around, like actually acting like assessing everything. Like learning. And then I'm seeing people really not doing shit. No notepad, no pen, no laptop, and I'm just getting mad because I'm thinking like, okay, well, what if there's actually people that want to come here and work? These people that's using their ability to get these privileges and basically just getting into the fight for free, not working. But hey, that's just me, that's just me, that's just me. But it's overwhelming. And one thing I want to say is, of course, I could have got interviews from this person and that person, but I want to make sure, and I've also learned that you don't want to be interviewing. I don't want to be a channel that's interviewing everybody. For one, I don't like being on people's personal space, and but at the same time, if it's an interview that's needed and is beneficial to me and the interviewee, then I'm going to talk to him and say, okay, all right, listen, I'm going to ask you certain questions about this and this and this. And so far, that's been my routine. So whenever I got somebody one-on-one, I would talk to them a couple of minutes before and basically introduce myself and then make sure they're ready for the question, because I don't want people, to think that I'm going to be catching them off guard. So I come in with basically a general approach. Pause. So long story short, what I'm going to do, as I said before, I'm going to go to an event every other month. The goal is to make sure that when Pacquiao or Mayweather versus Pacquiao comes around, then I'm solidified enough to whereas in people know when I come to those events, I'm not coming to bullshit around. I'm coming to work. So anyway, as it stands right now, I'm thinking the next fight that's going to be in the Barclays Center. And I'm not talking about the Lemieux fight. I'm not going to that one. I'm going to go to I'm hoping it's going to be Wilder versus Tavern. But, that's to be continued. But anyway, I don't know, since you're the only one here, I'm just waiting for everybody to come in here and start talking shit. Then I can start kicking people out. Kind of tired, actually.
Were any of the people, like before you interviewed them and you started talking to them, were anybody like dicks or anything?
What'd you say?
Were they like dicks or anything? Were they mean to you?
Listen, no, everybody was cool. I noticed that like the first press conference I went to, Hopkins versus Kovalev, I found out about that like 5 hours or something like that before it happened. So basically, it was a loose event, like to where anybody could walk in. But I noticed as closer I got to the fight, more strict things were. As far as, it was only certain times you could talk to Bernard and Kovalev and things like that, but they were all right there. So basically, since this is my first time covering the event as a reporter, I didn't go in there. I didn't go to anything aggressive. I wanted to make sure everybody, when they see me there, know like, oh yeah, that's that guy. I wonder what he's like. Oh, but I noticed that he was working the whole time he was there. I didn't bullshit around that 1 second. So, because I don't want people to think, oh, he just coming in here trying to do this and that. Like, just let me do my thing. I'm cool. I'm not fucking with nobody. I'm approachable. We could talk, have a little small chat. But as far as when it comes to the interviews, I talked to Hank Lundy about 10 minutes, before we did the video. So basically, we both from Philadelphia. So we know people that are in the same circle. So long story short, I was talking to him, like basically like we know each other. But to the point where I waited till he got informal. Then I was like, all right, cool. So, I told him what I was going to do for him, as far as I'm going to promote the video, promote the fight, that sort of situation. And then I told him, I said, listen, you can say whatever you want, like be comfortable. I don't want anybody to come on here thinking, like that word professional is always being thrown around. Like, this is boxing. And I understand there's got to be a certain level of professionalism, but at the same time, you got to understand, I have a contract. So I'm not going to sit up here and just be doing videos without any revenue coming in. Now, it's not about the revenue, but it's about the validity of people knowing, okay, this shit is not bullshit. So the press passes was something that had to be done. People didn't believe me when I said I was going to say, I got to start getting to these fights. I was getting sick and tired of just being in this square, man. That shit was really eating me alive. So, that was basically the reason for the abrupt departure from Enter the Arena, because I just realized it wasn't going to happen there. So I look at it like this. I'm trying to get a special interview this week. I set up so much stuff, man. But see, people don't understand, like, I'm doing all this stuff alone. So it's really, it takes a lot of time, and then it's no stranger to everything that's like basically going on outside of YouTube. But I know I done went all the way from your question. What was your question again?
No, my question was just like, what were the people like before you interviewed them? Like, were they different?
Everybody was cool.
That's cool.
I don't have like no complaints. I was getting a lot of those like, I'm thinking like maybe I'm just paranoid overlooking things, but I was getting a lot of those like those double backs, like like basically like they knew me, but it was like, oh shit, he here type of thing. So outside of that, I had no problem. Like, if I wanted to be in the front right there in people's faces, I could have been right there. So I chose to keep a certain distance. So once again, as time moves forward, people will see me and they're gonna know I'm getting closer and closer and closer. My job is to make sure that I used to cover the weigh-ins and stuff. Like, the weigh-in would come on, I would sit there and watch it. Soon as it would go off, I would do a video. To whereas in now, I realized back then, to whereas in now, okay, all right, it's time to start getting to the weigh-ins, and then basically covering the weigh-ins. And that's my, I'm not necessarily trying to compete with anybody, but at the same time, when it comes to that, I want that. I want to be the #1 guy that covers the weigh-ins. So, and I realize it's basically fairly easy, or well, it looks like it to me, So as far as the East Coast is concerned, all the way up to fucking Rhode Island, all the way down to Virginia, I'll cover all those fights. I'll fly out to Vegas maybe twice a year. Like, I don't want to be. I want to make sure, the reason why, like, when I do my videos live and uncut, I want to make sure that I'm still comfortable doing my videos, that I'm not laboring doing them. I want to make sure that still, like, it's easy, basically. So when I go out to Vegas and everything, I'm going out there basically on vacation, but at the same time I'm working. It's like, oh, well, double bubble. So everybody was cool. There wasn't no situation where, I mean, like, they're promoting a fight. So you don't want nobody to, like, it's all those cameras everywhere. I would say probably 100, maybe more cameras everywhere. So you don't want to do anything if you're a person, and then you got all those cameras and you're a YouTube headline. It would have been all over the place. I'm telling you. 'Cause the
See,
same people,
I'm trying to do that myself, like go to weigh-ins, because I want to be like a boxing writer. I want to go to weigh-ins and go to fights and all that stuff. But like I live in a terrible boxing area. Like I live in Sacramento. Like there's no fights that go on here.
yeah, you got to drive for a little while. Luckily,
It's-
see, I'm right there near Jersey, and I can get to New York in like 2 hours. So yeah, yeah, you got to start driving, man. But you got to think when it comes to Vegas, like if I was anywhere in that area, I'd be making a killing. Like if I was over there, like in Vegas, or anywhere in that Vegas, and I thought about moving over there a couple times, but it's not, it's just not happening right now. So
If you were in Vegas, you'd probably have a better, credential,
hell
because
yeah.
then they'll know you.
And then I have access to all just those big events. Because this event, for what I've learned when it comes to the press conference and everything, it was a good crowd for a Hopkins fight, but at the same time, it's nothing like a Mayweather or a Pacquiao press event where every seat is filled and it's just jam packed, everybody just all over each other with cameras. That's what I was expecting, but it wasn't like that. So I know I got to be prepared for that. Let me grab this freaking air conditioner. But that man. But see, now the next one I go to, I know to be more prepared as far as like what to expect. Simple as that. What up, Dean? I'm supposed to be either playing Call of Duty or sleep right now, but I said let me try out this Monday night thing. And then I stood you out the other night, man. That baby situation is getting to me, but it is what it is. No complaining. Just keep trucking forward. Just keep trucking forward.
How did the
You
court
know,
thing go today?
It's almost. Listen, I can't necessarily go into details just yet, but I'm in a strong position of power.
Good.
So it's just it's sad because I didn't want to have to sue anybody, but it's got to a point where I have to. So long story short, I can't talk about it. So I'll have more details. I'm thinking in like the next month. I'm still putting everything together, doing all the running around. It's really draining. It's really draining.
I
Plus, I
watched
get the
a
money back.
Klitschko fight this weekend, and like I've been watching tapes of like Shannon Briggs like at the weigh-in and stuff. This dude's funny. Like I think he should just like get the fight with Klitschko and then just get it over with. You know what I'm saying?
He ranked by the WBC. I mean, not WBC, WBA.
It's
Hold
oh
on.
my God, those are hilarious. You think those are fake?
Nah, nah, nah. You gotta give me. I can't say it. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. know, I didn't enter one of those lifestyles where it's like I always gotta answer my phone. Like, I couldn't be a doctor because you always gotta be on 24/7.
Yep.
Like when you're a detective, you gotta be 24/7 no matter what you're doing. Like my life is becoming like that. But no matter what, this is basically going to be like a beta show. I didn't really want to be on here all night, but this is going to be the time slot basically, because those late night Saturdays, and then with a baby, it's just not going to happen.
Yeah, that's true. It is fun though after like a really big fight card just to get on and chat for a bit. But they can stretch on for
I'm
hours.
still going to do it. I'm still going to do it, but it's not going to be every week.
Yeah, and
Like
it's
if
like
a major fight like Mayweather, Pacquiao, or Amir or somebody like that. Yeah, hell yeah. But it was like a Hopkins, nah, he gotta wait. What do y'all think about him? You think he's gonna move down, or what's up with this Golovkin situation? I know what I know, but
I think in the end he'll take it easy, step out, fight, or retire. I don't think he's going to fight Golovkin. I think he
No.
knows he's diminished. I think he knows he's diminished now. I think he's going to face the reality that yes, he's 49.
he looked big in there. Did you notice how like he looked like he rehydrated maybe about 30 pounds? He looked like he was like closer to 200.
Kovalev?
No, Hopkins.
Oh, well,
Like
if Hopkins was 200, then
he looked a little big.
so did Kovalev, though. Kovalev was bigger.
Kovalev
That's why he wasn't able to hit him.
he didn't look like drained or anything.
Yeah.
How come people always have a hard time joining Google Hangout?
I'm not sure. I always have an easy time. I just go into if anyone's a member of your circle, all they got to do is to go into the plus their name, their email address, or whatever it is inside Gmail. They'll see the Hangout in the top right. They just click on it, click join. That's all there is to it.
Oh, so I'm thinking, I got to start adding more people to my circles. See, like I got to really bring some people on because I'm responsible for way, way, way too much. To the point where I got to sit down probably 8 hours a day and just do shit and just mix videos in, and the videos are the easy part.
Yeah, the Hangouts take the reason you get such like a wavering members of the Hangouts is because, like I say, you never have a set time. You don't have a set time for them.
Yeah, no.
So nobody knows when to join. A lot of people are still eating supper. Depending on where they are. If they're on the West Coast, they're eating supper right now. So.
Hey, can you record pay-per-views?
It's funny. Yes, I can, but I remember for Canelo I couldn't. It's something funny with that.
What cable do you have?
Mayweather, I had no problem.
Look, because like I'm gonna miss the Pacquiao Algieri fight, but because I have work.
Well, if you got DVR, yeah, if you buy, you can record it.
Yeah, but the thing is, I don't want to take any chances because the program starts at 4.
Let's keep it 100. That's just gonna be on YouTube for probably 2 hours, and then they take it down. You gotta watch it while people put it up before they take it down.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm probably about to do.
Everybody always tries it. They put it up. You can never try to do that with an American fight. It's very risky with an American fight.
Yeah, you gotta wake up early in the morning and go look for it, and try to find it while you can.
Gotta have 2 phones. This is not cool. But I wanna Is there any details on the Mimo Heredia situation? I haven't researched it. I haven't heard nothing outside the fact that he was there.
About the what situation?
Mimo Heredia. I think he was just brought in to create controversy and to create some insecurity on the Pacquiao camp. That's about it.
It's risky, especially with Algieri looking all ripped. I can't wait to see the weigh-in though.
Yeah, that will decide. He can't look too ripped because he's got to make that weight limit. So
I'm looking at it. It's a photo boxing scene. You know, he looks a little, but see, he's tall too. So, you know, maybe that's it.
He shouldn't have a problem making weight.
Nah, I'm trying to figure out, it's so much going on with this Mayweather situation, so it's hard to keep talking about the same thing over and over and over again. You know, especially when you hear names like Terrence Crawford and Jesse Vargas. So, you know, you're hearing that they're talking about making the fight. You're hearing that the networks are talking. You're hearing that that's
Oh,
for the deal.
yeah, but you know that's just one guy, isn't it? It's just the head of the Showtime guy. It's like he's the only one talking about it, really.
No, Bob Arum said in a video that the networks were talking. Pacquiao said on the Boxing Voice that I'm looking at it now. Pacquiao said on the Boxing Voice that yes, they are negotiating.
They say that all the time.
Yeah, but you got to think at this point in time, everybody's been saying it on both sides. You got Roger and Floyd Sr. saying it. You got Sid Watson saying it 2 months ago. So you know everybody's saying it. The only person that hasn't said it is Floyd. What did he say? He said we got a surprise. I mean, he's got a surprise for us.
When Floyd says it, I'll believe it.
Huh?
When Floyd says he's gonna fight Pacquiao, I'll believe it.
See, people think that they're going to be doing this negotiation all out in the public, which is not the case at all. They like with something like this, especially after all the times, you know, of getting fans' hopes up. They're going to make sure they do all this, you know, quietly with probably only 2-3 people in the room.
Yeah, they do that every time. Before each one of their fights, they act like they want to fight each other, and then, you know, after they're done with their fights, you know, they're silent.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. But people say, you know, why can't Timothy Bradley fight Danny Garcia, or why can't, you know, Keith Thurman fight Marquez? And you have to think about, like, well, you can't make none of those fights unless you make Mayweather Pacquiao.
I don't even think they have to do that, because I mean, I'm not even sure if Mayweather Pacquiao is realistic.
I don't think it is. I don't think that fight will ever come across. There's too many different people taking stances, too many different sides.
Everybody wants to fight except for the people involved in making it.
Yeah. They pretend they want to see the fight happen, but deep down they don't. Deep down, they know they already have a gravy train that's making lots of money. They don't need to make that super fight because they're making millions anyway. So
that's too much money to leave on the line.
Yeah, but they're making it anyway, so it makes no difference.
It is the end of their career, though. Like, it's, you know, both guys are getting up there, so you might as well just make it happen.
Egos.
Yeah, but, you know, you got to look at Mayweather's side, too. You know, he's got 2 fights left. You know, it's very risky for him to take that fight now in his career. That's why I think it may not happen, but I feel differently, and I've heard differently.
If he's a true champion, you want to take the fight.
I'd be happy if he fought Thurman next.
What'd you say?
Yeah.
I'd be happy if he fought Thurman next.
Oh yeah, same.
Yeah, I don't know if that's gonna sell though.
Thurman is fresh blood. He's got youth on his side, lots of energy, that drive behind him. Dangerous fight, and I think that would be a good fight to have. And I think he would do some decent numbers there. Not world breaking, but he would have to be at the top of his game to win.
So. That would be somewhat like Pacquiao giving Chris Algieri a chance, somewhat.
Yeah, basically the same thing. Yeah, like right now at this stages of the career, I would say Pacquiao's taken the bigger risks lately than Floyd is. Just because of his opponents, except for Rios, but
Well, he did. He took on Canelo, but that was just like one fight.
Yeah, Canelo was a good one. But Pacquiao had Bradley, he had Marquez, who beat him last time. Then Bradley fought Bradley a couple times. Then you're going to have Algieri, who's a dangerous fighter just because of his physical attributes in his youth. He's a dangerous fight. Uh, yeah, so it's like Pacquiao's doing his thing right now. Floyd, like they say, Bob Arum doesn't have a whole lot of choices, but his opponents right now for Manny are better than what Floyd's are. So at least they're fresh names, they're young blood. You know, I don't have anything against.
No, Floyd got some names he would fight, but we know he won't fight them. Like you said, Keith Thurman, somebody like that.
Exactly.
I mean, who else? Let me think about who else. He could fight Iris Landy Lara.
Oh, yeah, no, that fight's not happening.
But I'm saying, he does have options if he wants them, at 147 or 154. He could definitely fight Canelo in a rematch. Del Cotto.
Yeah, like I say, there's choices there for him if he's willing to take them, but.
Wait, 150. I think he just wants to get Amir Khan and probably maybe a Devin Alexander or somebody if he's done.
Amir Khan, I don't mind, although I won't pay for it. I don't mind that fight because I know basically what's going to happen. But Devin Alexander, I don't know why, but his after every punch just drives me up the friggin' wall. The noises he makes when he throws punches, it makes me want to punch him.
I think that he's I think that Al Heyman is hoping that Amir Khan wins. I think this is like the sacrifice that Al Heyman has to do every year. Where it's like one of his fighters got to get canceled out.
That'd be kind of a lame way to end your career if you're Mayweather. Just fight those two guys.
No, I'm not talking. No, I'm talking about either or. And then of course they got Danny Garcia out there. Danny Garcia may be better. If Danny Garcia wins another big fight, they gonna start talking him and Mayweather again.
Yeah, I'd like to see him. I'd like to see him fight Danny Garcia maybe. Although I think he wins easy, but
Yeah, it's like Maidana. I like Maidana. He's a really fun fighter to watch, but that type of fighter, we knew what was going to happen before the first fight even happened. Even though Maidana made it interesting and kind of fun, I had no interest in the rematch because I knew what was going to happen.
Everybody said the same thing. Mayweather's going to move, and he did it. He did a little bit of I'm not going to say excessive. He did exactly what he was supposed to do. He said, "I'm gonna get the win. I don't care what people think."
Yeah, he boxed smart. He didn't excessively run or anything. He just boxed smart, and I knew if he fought that way, he would have beat Maidana easy, which he did the second time around. First time around, I don't know if he was just because he was too stubborn or had something to prove. Or what,
I don't think he was prepared for what Maidana was doing, because Maidana's the type of guy you got to time him. You don't know. You don't know where he's going to come from. So Mayweather, he didn't want to take the risk of having to move and do all that dodging, which would benefit Maidana because he'll hit you with some wild shit. So I think
he didn't even know who he was.
I think he chose either to move or stay on the ropes. In the first fight, he chose, all right, I'm going to defend myself on the ropes, and just defend against the onslaughts. Whereas in the second fight, he knew, all right, I got to incorporate moving into it. And moving a whole lot more than I did in the first fight.
Yeah, he didn't even know who he was the first time, so he wasn't prepared for the style.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm still kind of in shock over the Hopkins fight, and I predicted it on our on your show that Hopkins can come out old, and he kind of did.
I think he was just scared. Honestly, I never saw him look like that before. Especially with that famous shot they got out there with that famous picture when he got the face like.
Yeah. I think Kovalev because Kovalev isn't slow. That's one thing you
Kovalev
can't say.
hurt his hand on his head. So
Yeah,
I think that's when he gave Bernard Hopkins a headache.
and the thing is about it, when he whipped that right hand a few times, it had some speed behind it. Kovalev's faster than what I thought. Uh, that's one thing I noticed when when them two
And with the
fought.
distance.
Kovalev seemed faster than I thought, and Hopkins seemed slower than I thought. And that speed difference made the difference, I think.
I think the big difference was the height and the reach and the power. That was pretty much it.
Yeah, but Hopkins fought guys like Pavlik before who had that. The only
Yeah,
thing
but
where Pavlik was missing was speed. He had no speed, and but that's one
totally
thing.
different.
That's one
Totally
thing.
different. He drained him. Well, he went up to like 10 pounds heavier.
Yeah, but he was also really slow. So Hopkins just basically danced around him all night.
But look at the fact that there was no. Everybody predicted that it was going to be a lot of clinching, and it wasn't.
Yeah, he. I don't even know. He didn't even do any work in
Well,
the clinches or
yeah,
anything like that.
well, you notice when Hopkins tried to come in each time, Kovalev would start throwing in these short left and right hooks. Every time Hopkins tried to come in, he'd throw those. So
Yeah, that's like
Hopkins would
the first
end up
time.
retreating half the time because he'd come in, he'd start getting hit, he'd pull back out. So I think Kovalev was trained to watch out for Hopkins coming in with his head in the right hand, and when he did it, he'd bend to the side and start throwing short hooks, and Hopkins got discouraged most of the time. A couple times he got in there, but I think they had a good game plan for him, and I'm still shocked by it because I never expected. I knew Hopkins had a chance to lose, and I was expecting the fight to go to distance regardless, but I was expecting Hopkins to win a close decision or lose a close one. That's what I
Yeah,
was thinking. I knew he wouldn't get knocked out because he's too smart. So I was thinking it's going to be a close fight either way, and I was shocked by how it went, how one-sided it was. I was really surprised by that. So that tells me because even though Kovalev's a really good fighter, it shows me that Hopkins has faded a lot. He's lost his ability to pull the trigger like he used to.
For some reason, I think he can beat Stevenson though, even right now.
mm, I don't know
Steven,
about that.
I think he does. I think Stevenson has a more predictable game. Hopkins will just feed right into that. I think Hopkins will eat that right up. Kovalev's, like I say, he's got more dimensions to him.
Yeah,
He can
we've
fight in
learned that.
close.
Whereas,
Kovalev can fight in close. He can fight mid range, and he can fight at a distance. Uh, you know, Stevenson to me is a one-trick pony. Jab right hand or jab left hand. Jab left hand.
and we saw that with Altham. He definitely exposed him with that.
Yeah, he will look really good in like the first 7 rounds, and then like after that, he just looks terrible.
All right, guys, listen. I know people are going to be mad, but I got to be prepared for this weekend. My pizza is here. We got 3 minutes. What should we address in 3 minutes?
What's your
Yeah. Oh, shout out to Fiesta. Got to get some sponsors.
what is it? I missed your question.
Let's get some one more question. One more question before my food get here.
Go for it,
Pacquiao
Tom.
fight.
Oh well, I got Pacquiao. That's simple. That's easy work. Easy work.
Oh, actually,
No, you know what the controversy is going to be? What he's going to weigh in at. That's what I want to see.
I think he can make it.
No, I'm talking about if he's going to weigh in at 140 or not, or 141,
Oh no,
something like that.
he would probably come in at like 140, like 3.
Well,
That's usually what he comes in at.
at the last 3 weigh-ins, he's weighed like at 147 or right there. He's coming to the ring at about 150. So with the catch weight, I'm thinking he's going to weigh in, at about 142 because Freddie Roach seems to be serious about getting him down to 154. But I'm going to go eat my pizza, man.
All right.
This weekend.
All right,
All right, man. Peace.
All right. Catch you guys
later.
later.